Edward Brown with the Fort Worth Weekly newspaper, joined today by Trey, Holcomb, the Libertarian candidate for Texas's 12th congressional district. That idea of trying to divide people into Republican and Democrat, there's more nuance when you actually talk to people about their beliefs and what do you really think on this issue and this issue. When you start talking to them, you realize maybe they think they're just Republican, but they have some maybe more progressive ideas. And where do libertarians come in when they're trying to maybe remind them that there's a third option here?
The main thing that I point out to people, and I said this the other night, I was talking to a group over at the Project Fort Worth, which is largely Republican, largely.
Yep.
And I said, how many of you in the audience, how many of you believe in property rights? And, most of the hands came up. And I said, well, how many of you believe in smaller government? And most of the hands came up. And I said, okay, well, how many of you believe that, that it's immoral and unethical to initiate aggression against innocent people? And most of the rest of the hands came up. And I told them, I said, well, congratulations, you're already libertarians. Because there it is, in a nutshell. And they thought it was hilarious. I don't know how many of them were won over by that argument, but they thought it was fun. It got a lot of cheers. And I told them, I said, hey, you know what? We're here. This is what we're about. So maybe you might consider that going forward.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of the people I've spoken to, they're pretty well convinced that the system we've got is so rigidly in place that there's just not, that the solutions have to come from within. I'm not so sure that's true. We do a lot. Our government does a lot to help people that are marginalized or maybe underprivileged. I mean, we've got a huge system of public assistance, right? But I'm not so sure that the government's best suited to handle that. I think individuals may be best suited to handle that. I think patriotism should be about, loving the people you share the country with, no matter who they are. And no matter where they came from. If the people that have the public trust in government believe in that one principle, then I'm right there with Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I think that's the most important thing that you can do as somebody that has the public trust.
Well, this summer we saw each other out at the protests a lot. And it's interesting to see. I don't know. Maybe it's not interesting, or maybe it's not unusual, but to see someone who's right of center out. You said a lot of good things about the Black Lives Matter movement, so I want to get your take on what drew you out there.
Well, just the fact that tear gas was rolled in my city, and kids that I taught, that I knew, were out there, and teachers that I worked with were breathing tear gas, and I thought, if that's going to happen to somebody in my city, I want to be out there with them.
Okay.
When you've got a particular group of people that are being, that are either being singled out or feel like they're being singled out. It doesn't matter which one it is, okay? You've got to love on people. You've got to do that. And I felt like, getting out in the street was the best way I could do that.
What does the future of the Libertarian Party look like?
Well, I think it's bright. I think it's growing. We're the fastest growing party in the country.
Okay.
And the worse that the duopoly does, the better our chances are, because we've gotten good grief. If 2020 has shown anything, it's just this the results of the last 160 years of Republicans and Democrats who every election say, if you just elect us one more time, we'll fix this. And it's like, wait a minute, you guys are the ones that screwed it up.
They take turns.
Well, sure, you guys are the ones that screwed it up, so why should we believe that you're going to fix it this time? Well, if this is the most important election ever, and if you'll just elect us one more time, then we'll fix it.
Okay. Let's play a word association game.
Sounds like fun.
I'm going to give you some random words, and you just spit out what comes to your mind. Try to keep it to one word if you can.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Kay Granger.
Panther Island.
Police brutality.
Wrong.
Pumpkin-flavored beer.
Strange.
Why? Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Republicans.
No.
Democrats.
Nope.
Puppies.
Yes, I love puppies.
Good choice. Donald Trump's presidency.
Failed.
Okay. Fuzzy socks.
Comfy.
National debt.
Terrible.
The Second Amendment.
Valuable.
Okay. Fort Worth.
Home.
Decriminalizing marijuana.
Necessary.
Mass incarceration.
Gone soon.
Man buns.
Not for me.
Okay. So if you like what you heard, this is the man to vote for, Trey Holcomb. You have up until November 3rd to check his box off. He's one of 3 boxes on there for the very important Texas 12th Congressional District. Trey, thanks for coming to talk to us.
Bet.
And I also wanted to thank Free Play for hosting us today. We had a lot of fun hanging out with this near South Side business. They welcomed us, and we got to play some games. We got to beat Trey on Street Fighter, and he wasn't too bitter about that.
No, you whooped me pretty good.
I got 2 for 2. But yeah, best of luck with the election. And again, thanks for talking to us.
You bet.
All right.
It's a pleasure.